I'm Victoria Ellis, and my presentation is going to be on Gestalt Psychology. And a brief definition of Gestalt Psychology is attempting to analyze interpretations expressed as gestalts as opposed to examining their components. To expand a little further on Gestalt, they are some sort of pattern, either biologically or physically, that would not be able to be obtainable apart. So, Gestalt psychology uses things such as similarity, proximity, and order in order to obtain information about certain groups rather than the individual. Using this method of analyzation, psychology has been influenced in many ways. It has changed how we study perception and sensation, as well as increasing our understanding of our social behaviors. So, when we are looking at an old car, do you see the wheels, the windows, the doors, the headlights, the mirrors, etc. first, or do you just see the car as a whole? Most of you probably answered you see the car as a whole rather than all of the individual parts of it. That is kind of a little example of Gestalt psychology. So, the basic idea being focusing on molar rather than molecular behavior, um, meaning we should be focused more on the idea of the whole rather than the individual, as I said above. So, this idea gained popularity amongst many people, but it didn't just take over in one day. It was a very slow, gradual effect. So during the mid 20s in Germany, Gestalt psychology was gaining popularity. And by the 1930s, it had shifted towards the US. Um, so it was clear that it was moving through the world and gaining popularity through the world. Um, Although there was a couple of issues with it coming from Germany to the US, one being a language barrier. Because the idea came from Germany, proper translations were not made to English, therefore the popularity could not continue to grow unless, obviously, we all learned German. Um, so some people were opposed to Gestalt psychology because they felt like it was based mostly on image and the initial perception, almost like judging a book by its cover, rather than digging deeper and looking at the individual parts. Because when you're looking at something as a whole, like I mentioned the car example before, you typically look at the car as the whole. You don't look at, oh, there's the the rims for the wheels and there's, the wires for the lights and everything. So the US this led to the US not sticking with the idea of Gestalt psychology for too long because they were already getting into the behavioralist mindset, which almost contradicts Gestalt psychology. And because of these issues, Gestalt psychology's exit was just as gradual as its entrance. And my sources were a lecture from chapter 14 and the video um, Gestalt Psychology and Why It's Essential for Good Design form um, from HubSpot Marketing. And thank you for watching my presentation.